Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond Loss, Loving Life with Karen Chaston. I'm Karen Chaston and it's great to be here. And if you're not aware, I am here twice a week now for 30 minutes, Mondays and Thursdays at this time. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Please put into the comments where you're from. And for people who have not been here before, I am a Beyond Lost expert. I am a life coach who helps people to move beyond any kind of loss and create their better everyday life. But I do pick one card every time, which is for everyone who is watching, whether you're watching live or in the replay. I am here and I love to pick it. Hi, Nadine. Nice to see you here again and tuning in from Brisbane. I'm on the Gold Coast, which is so close. This is the cards that I love to pick from, the Channel Spiritual Guidance cards from Marcia Quinton. Hi, Elizabeth from Scotland. Oh, my God, that is so on my bucket list. I really do hope that I get to actually fly into Scotland one day, but who knows with the world that we're living in. But you know what? I've been there so many times in the past life. That's probably why I haven't made it a priority in this one, but it is a beautiful place. Okay, so today we are going to pick one of these cards, as I said, from Marcia Quinton's Channeled Spiritual Guidance cards. Oh, and what have we got as I have stopped? Oh, this is pretty cool. This is the Council of Souls. You have been chosen. So it's not just for me, it's for everyone who is listening to this live or in the replay. So let's read what it has to say. The Councils of Souls, MasterCard number 2. You have been chosen. The Council of Souls has called upon you to serve. This is a blessing from the Council who has observed your journey through life. They have seen what you are capable and understand what lies deep within your heart. Oh my God, isn't this amazing? I'm getting tingles. They are aware of your mind brimming with questions and seeking the solutions to all that is around you. They have watched you struggle to follow the true calling of your heart, yet they know of your power and capabilities as a light worker for humanity. They have reached out and touched you with their gift of love and power to help you along life's journey. Oh my God, isn't that amazing? Yeah. Glencoe is a must. Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. I will remember that. Glencoe. Okay. So this is the beautiful card for everyone today, and it is an amazing card. It's not just for me, it's for everyone. So the Councils of Souls, you have been chosen. And the most important thing that I'm going to pick out of there is they have seen what you are capable of and understand what lies deep within your heart. How amazing is that? So today we are going to, because I only do 30-minute sessions now, or 30-minute shows, I should say, which is totally amazing. I love doing the 30 minutes. And the reason why I love it so much is it sort of makes me more kazink and sort of just there, which is really, really cool. I guess I don't rave on as much, and we don't want that now, do we? So what we're going to talk about today, so let me just get up my trusty little slides so that everyone can note. Wrong one. Oh, yeah, that's the right one. Or will we go there? Will I go down the bottom or across? Oh, what do you reckon? Down here low or up here? I think I like this one better. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through, as I normally do, that life is a journey from love to loss and then back to love. It's an infinite journey, and that's what we are continually doing. Unfortunately, because we've never really been taught how to move beyond loss, we get stuck in it. We end up, on the ground, on our knees, sort of wondering, how the hell can I move beyond this tragic event that has just happened in my life? I really don't know how I'm going to get up and get myself back into love. And that's what I love to do, is I love to assist people to know how to do that. And I've had many tragic loss events in our lives, as we all have. And they're not just a death of a loved one. There are so many more. As you can see, there are over 40 different loss events that can affect all of our lives. And it's, when I first read 40 different loss events, I went looking for a list. I just had to find this list. And this is what I came up with. Now, I'd love for you to have a look at this list and just sort of very quickly go, yep, death of this, yep, job loss, my health loss, my, marriage breakdown or partnership breakdown, my, losing my job or losing my pet. Then in the pandemic that we're all in at the moment and has been going on for nearly 2 years, so many of the minor ones came to the forefront. Loss of freedom, loss of choice, loss of status, loss of identity, change in work conditions, change in recreational activities, change in social activities. There's so many loss events. And as I said, not many of us know how to easily move beyond loss and create our better everyday life. And that's what we're going to touch on today. And yeah, Pauline, you're so right. And thanks, Cedar, for saying it's amazing. So true. I've had a lot of losses of all my life still going on, and they will still going on. We're on a journey. We're all spiritual beings having what's the best way to say, a fumbling, tumbling, sort of bumbling along a life experience. And because we are fumbling along most of the time, we may try this or we may try that, and we may walk down this path or that path, and it may not be the most ideal path for us. But what I've found is that we live in a world of constant change. Okay. And sometimes these loss events actually come into our life to assist us to get back on track, to assist us to become that person who we came here to be. As the councils of souls said, I've seen what you're capable of. So we are guided and we are protected. And sometimes the most tragic events in our life can be the ones that are the most way that we can actually become that person who we came here to be. And that's why when just over 10 years ago, when my son passed away, I did what everyone does. I just kept busy. I went straight back to work after his funeral, and I ate more and I drank more and I worked even harder, and I just give it time, keep busy, everything will be all right, as we've been told for centuries and centuries and centuries. But that's not the case. And then because I didn't wake up and because I didn't listen, then another tragic life event had to come, which came in the form of redundancy. And I know if I didn't listen then, and if I didn't wake up and start to go, surely there must be a better way. Surely there must be an easier way. And I'm pretty sure I would have had, health issues or financial issues, or who knows what the universe would have sent my way until I woke up from what I now call my Groundhog Day days. So that's why I do what I do. And that's why I love sharing what I do, because believe me, I did it the hard way. And that's not what we want. We don't want that for other people. We want to learn from the way we did things and find that better way and then share it with the world, which is totally amazing. So thank you, Cedar. And it is a beautiful thing to know we are seen. And we are seen, not only with people in this realm, but also in people in the other realm. And we do have our guidance. My number one fan on the other side is my son Dan, and I spend more time with him than I do with his siblings. Believe me, he is always planting ideas in my head and doing this, which is why he's the co-founder of the Chaston Center. So today we are going to do the first step. There's 5 steps on the gift of loss, But we're going to deep dive into number 1. And then over the next 5 lives, which will be on Monday and Thursday for the next couple of weeks. So over those next 4, we will be going up a step each time, because it is good for us to actually do it slowly. It takes time. It takes time, whether you choose to avoid everything or whether you choose to actively get into what these steps are. So are you ready? Are you ready to take the first step? Let me know. And it's so good to see everyone here today. So thank you. So the first step is for us to stop. Sounds a bit like we've been sort of forced to do over the past 18 months or so now, doesn't it? But why is the first step stop? If you look at the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief, she talks about, the 5 different stages, and the last one is to accept. But there's nothing in there about us stopping. It's just about the emotions and the way that you will feel, whether you'll feel anger or depression and all these different things, shame and guilt and all these other emotions that can come up when loss comes to visit. So the first step is to stop. So let's really deep dive into what stopping actually means, because a lot of the time we don't know how to stop. We are so busy. We live in a world of constant information being, thrown at us, that we have also created a world where if we're not busy, well, we're not successful, or we're lazy, or there's something wrong with us. Like, why aren't you continually busy? But what I've found that in the stopping is where you get to take this conscious, loving breath. Okay, so I'm going to say it again, a conscious, loving breath. Now, the conscious, loving breath is the most amazing way that you can fill yourself up with all of the love, the gratitude, the fulfillment, the joy, everything that you require in that moment. And it doesn't cost you anything, and you don't have to go anywhere to do it. You always have your breath with you. So let me show you how to do a conscious, loving breath, because this is the most amazing part about the stopping phase or stopping step. So what you do is you breathe deep. So you breathe in, but you breathe deep, 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 deep down into your belly. Now, in your belly, apart from the fact that that's where all your, inner guidance and wisdom, and, it's like it's your gut brain, your intuition brain. And it really does, when you tap into that, it's amazing the sort of guidance that you actually get. We spend so much of our time looking outside for the answers, but we all have the answers within. And I have a great spiritual teacher, and one of her favorite sayings is to say, you are the master you are seeking. And when we come from that space and realize that all we're doing is remembering, it really is the most amazing place to come from. So you breathe deep, deep, deep down into your belly. And and as I said, that's where your intuition is. But what it is also is that's where all the nerve endings from the vagus nerve is, which goes all the way up to your hypothalamus, which is the brain center of your brain. So what you're doing is you're breathing in this beautiful love, and it's taking it all the way up to your brain and then all throughout your body. So as you breathe in this love. And then when you breathe out, you are consciously breathing out all of the debris of what you don't require in your body, all of the stuff that is bringing you down, all of the stuff that is making you feel any of those emotions that you at this time are not serving you. Now, your emotions are your friends. right? And I know that's unusual for everyone to hear. Your emotions are your friends. But what they do is, because they guide you to all these unconscious things in your body which are not serving you, or the past events that it's time for you to heal and move on from. But at this stage, what you're doing is you're bringing in all of the love, all of the joy, all of the fulfillment, all of the feel-good hormones, so that you're not depressed, you're not down, that you can actually even just physically look after yourself. So you don't go to bed and then never get up, which is what happens a real lot when loss comes to visit. So you start to realize in this stopping phase that you are really important physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And this conscious loving breath will assist you to really, really know that and to gain that. So when you start to breathe that way and you start to feel a little bit better, the stopping phase is also about where you start to ask yourself some questions. Now, the questions in your life are, I guess the best way for me to say it is, the quality of your life always comes back to the quality of the questions that you're asking yourself. Because for every question, there's an answer waiting to be revealed. And then for every answer, there's an action step waiting to be taken. And for every action step you take, you move one step closer and closer and closer to designing and living the life that you have always wanted to live. But it all starts with that question, right? So the question that you ask in the stopping stage are questions like, what does this mean for me now? Not only generally, but in all areas of my life. And in the Chaston Center model, there are 9 areas of life. So it's really important for us to sit down and figure out how whatever has happened is going to affect every single area of my life. And because there's 9 areas of life, which I did on purpose, by the way, because 9 is an ending number. It's the end of a cycle. It's, it's preparing you to be, create your better everyday life. So it's really important to understand 9 has that energy around it. So when we deep dive into the 9 areas of our lives, we really do tap into all of us. And, the 9 areas of life are you mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually. What else is there? Family, socially, environmentally, and I've missed one. But anyway, I'm sure it will come up back to me in a minute. Oh, professionally. How can I forget professionally? So, yeah. So that's the one where you really do start to deep dive and ask these questions. What does this mean for me now? And what does it mean for me moving forward? So that is why you stop, because it's really important for us all to understand that we are the only person we are going to spend our entire life with. Okay? So let's think about that. If we're the only person that we're going to spend our entire life with, why are we putting ourselves last? Why are we giving up on our dreams and, saying yes to everyone else whilst we're probably saying no to ourselves at exactly the same time? So it's really important for us to deep dive into that and actually start to say, why am I doing this? And what does it mean for me moving forward? Because it's really important for me to start to know that I can go down, but the sooner I get onto that loop, that infinity loop, back to love, where I'm loving life, I'm loving me, I'm loving my relationships, I'm loving my work, I'm loving where I live, I love my community, I love everything, the world. It's really important for us to understand that when we're in loss, we're actually in a learning phase, because we're going to learn and we're going to grow. And, so often we see it as so negative, but, we live in a world of duality. So we can't have, negative without positive. We can't have good without bad. So the more that we can see, okay, this is one perspective, but what is the good from this? Okay, how will I grow? Who will I become? That's what the stopping stage is all about. And what really does stop us from stopping, is apart from our busy, busy world, is the fact that we go into a bit of an avoidance loop. Okay. So the avoidance loop is there, and it's sort of when we start not asking ourselves questions, but we start telling ourselves, right? And just because we tell ourselves something, it doesn't mean it's necessarily right. Oh, this is too hard. I can't get out of bed. What's the point of living? My life is over. I can't live with this person, whether they're alive or dead or, divorced or separated, or what's the reason why, no one gets me, no one understands me, I'll never be successful in this, I've just lost my job, I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do, nothing matters anymore. So that's the bit of the avoidance loop that we go into. And when we go into this avoidance loop, we end up getting, start to go into avoidance tactics. And oh my God, we are so good at avoidance tactics. All you got to do is look at the world. We have created a world of avoidance: food, alcohol, drugs, working too much, being angry, being shopping too much, exercising too much, Netflix, social media. Avoidance, 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 avoidance. A whole lot of them are avoidance. Now, I'm not saying you can never do any of them. It's about you asking that question in the stopping stage and saying, why am I doing this? Am I doing this just to avoid this? Or am I doing this for joy and fulfillment and fun? Right? There's a difference. And if you are sitting on the couch doing a Netflix trilogy for days and days and days, more than likely the answer is I'm avoiding life. I'm avoiding people. I'm avoiding whatever they have to say to me. I'm just going to be stuck here for as long as I need to. But that's not what you're here to do. You're here to live and love your life. You're here to move through life's challenges. You're here to embrace and love life's fulfilling times, memorable times. And that's why I just love assisting people to get out, to stop. Ask the questions. Figure out, are you actually in action or are you in avoidance? Or are you just passively letting life pass you by because it's just so much easier? I don't get hurt. If life just goes along and I don't have to feel, well, I won't have to hurt. But that's not what we're here to do. So that's the first stage, which is for us to stop. Okay, now, before I just say a little bit about what we're going to be talking about on Monday, I'm not sure if you're aware or if you've seen my announcement. My Demystifying Loss book, the Kindle version, has been released. It's loaded, it's there, which is really, really exciting. And for the next week or so, it is at 99 US cents. So now's the time for you to download it if you like reading Kindle. In a couple of weeks, I will have the paperback version, which you'll be able to either purchase from me or you can go online and get it from Amazon and other places. But at the moment, there's just the Kindle version available. So if you are interested in downloading it, and, obviously this book is amazing. There's 320 pages of it. It is 58,000 words. And not only do I deep dive in how not to do loss, I deep dive into how to do it. I really do deep dive, and I give you this 5-step process. So if you wanted to, you could, use the book, utilize the book, read it, and it's an interactive book. You can stop, you can do each of the steps. They're laid out, they're as clear as anything on how you can move beyond all of your past loss events. And you then have this process, this 5-step loving process for the rest of your life when loss comes to visit. So you don't have to go down. You don't have to go into avoidance. You are very easily able to move yourself very quickly along the infinity line back to love. Sure, loss is going to come to visit. It is always, but you just get the lesson quicker because you have this process. What's the lesson? What's this about? Where do I need to heal? What needs to happen? Okay, great. Thanks. Done, done, done. Okay, I'm back to love. And then you stay in love so much longer. And isn't that what we're all here to do? To live and love our life. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of this amazing price at the moment. Let me just see if I can. Oh, I'm just going to type before I talk about this. I'm just going to type into the chat. This is where you can download the Kindle version. I've just typed in the bit.ly link. Right. So Monday, hopefully you can join us here, 11 a.m. Queensland, noon Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. I will be here for 30 minutes and we'll be stepping up the gift of loss staircase and we will be talking about accept. Now, remember, I very quickly touched on Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's 5 stages of grief. Acceptance is the 5th stage. So you've got to go through a whole lot of stuff in that model to get there, whereas we, through stopping and gaining a whole lot of awareness about you and the relationship that you have just lost, whether it's been through death or separation or whatever it is, relationship, job, can be any of them. Excuse me, I've been talking for nearly half an hour. I just need to take a quick sip. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be deep diving into this. So hopefully you can join us either live or on the replay. But remember, here for 30 minutes, twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Queensland or noon Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. And that is it from me. That is our beautiful, beautiful show for today. So I'd like to thank you for being here. Any questions before I go? Because it's literally, I only have a couple more minutes left. But as always, I really do want to encourage you, excuse me, to encourage you to make each and every day meaningful, memorable, and magical. And you can do it because you are the master you are seeking. Always remember that. I'm just here assisting you to remember. I'm just here assisting you to tap into all parts of your body. And remember to do a conscious, loving breath several times a day. You'll be amazed. Feeling a little bit tired? Do a conscious, loving breath. Feeling a bit upset about something? Do a conscious, loving breath. Feeling energized? Do another one and you conscious, loving breath, and you'll be even more so energized. So that is my great tip for you today. Conscious, loving breath. You deserve it and you're worth it. So that's it from me. Thank you for being here and bye for now.